a video tonight because I'm doing this new Couture board with the Spruce Creek Farms Christmas tree transfer. And so I wanted to show you guys how I'm doing that. So basically I'm going to use white garden herb, this green color, and then I'll be using the candy apple red. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. If you guys don't know what Couture is, it is basically a company that makes these chalk paste, and then you take these transfers that are kind of like a vinyl material out here, and then they actually have a screen in the middle, and you can put the chalk paste on it and then work your way over all of the different parts, so everything in white will come out in the color that you add, and then you can remove this, and these are reusable. So it's a really cool product, and I'm going to go ahead and get my paints mixed up. So the first one I'm doing is white. Just remember that every time you use one of these chalk pastes that you need to make sure you stir it up. I've noticed that the white is thicker than most of the other colors, so I usually give it a pretty good stir, and you're looking for the consistency of yogurt. So I've got that one stirred up pretty well. I'll set it aside. And then I'm going to do my garden herb real fast. So I've done a couple videos so far of other things that I've made, and I've made a couple other things that I've posted, so I hope you guys like those. This has been really fun. This is the garden herb, and it's a lot thinner, you can tell, than the white. And then the red candy apple is very thin. I noticed that it's probably the thinnest one that I've purchased so far. So when I stir it up, it mixes up really nice. So I just get it stirred up just a little bit. It doesn't take much at all because it's a lot thinner. It goes a long ways. Also, you'll notice on my transfer over here that you can see that I've used this transfer before. I posted an image probably 2 or 3 days ago where I had done this exact transfer on a glass front with a wooden frame. And you can see that the red does stain your transfers. It doesn't harm them in any way or anything like that, but the red stains. I have a little bit of green on here, but they're still completely reusable, so no big deal there. Okay, so I have already fuzzed this when I did my last project, so I don't need to fuzz it again, but I am going to go ahead and peel this off and get it stuck on this board. I just purchased this board, I think from Lowe's, and then I stained it with a dark wood stain. I do like to, whenever I pull these transfers off, if they're the larger transfers like this one is, I like to pull the backing off the transfer, so I hold this down and then pull the backing off. I just noticed that it doesn't roll up as bad. So let me get this off of here, and I'll try to get this centered on this board. So these vinyls are really nice to try to center because you can just move them around on top. They don't stick down too awfully bad. Okay, so I think I have all my bubbles out at this point. I'm just going over it one last time to make sure that all my letters are down smooth on my trees. I don't want any bleed around that. So now that we've got our vinyl stuck to the board, we're just going to start applying our chalk paste. So I think I'm going to do white up here, red here, green, and then I haven't quite decided here. Probably do red out here to the sides and white down here. Or red down here, I think, and white out to the sides. So since I'm doing white at the top, I'll go ahead and do all the white areas that I'm going to do. Plus, I like to do red last since it spreads so easily. That way I don't get it mixed in with any of my other colors. So I'm just going to daub some of this on here and grab my squeegee and start pressing this into these letters. So got that done, and I have quite a bit of extra left here. So I'll just go ahead and start over here. This really does not use a lot of the chalk paste when you're using it, so I like that it goes quite a ways. So I still have some here, and I may need to add a little more here. So just grab me a little bit more and screen that in. All right, so I'm done with that. I'll go ahead and scrape my excess back into the container here. So I can save that. Grab a baby wipe. I have more of these squeegees on order, but right now I just have the one here, so clean that off. Okay, so I think I'll do the green next here on the trees. I'm going to get quite a bit here. Alright, so let's pull it off and see where we're at. Just grabbing from the middle so to avoid stretching. And this is pretty easy to pull off. Got my board down here. So I did have a bubble. I can see it around the S, but I'll show you how I'm going to try to fix that. Okay, so right here in this area you can see I got some of the chalk off of the S, and what I'm going to do is, and I've never had to do this, but I think I can do it, is I'm going to take this baby wipe and kind of wind it up around one of my tongue depressors here, popsicle sticks, and I'm just going to try to clean that up a little bit. What I realized was that I needed to let it dry, so I took my heat gun and dried it, and then I was able to go around the letters without touching the wet paint and just wipe off what I didn't want. So I think I've about got it. So I had a couple spots that I got some bubbles. I've never had that happen, and I've done several projects now, but I think it's because I put that transfer on previously and put it on glass, and I had a hard time getting it off because I didn't fuzz it enough. So I've done other glass and didn't have that problem, but that one I didn't fuzz enough, so I think that I may have stretched an area there. I'm going to see what I can do about it, but I'm going to go ahead and dry this. You can pick up these dryers for anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks at like Harbor Freight, and they work great. I really like using this one because it has a low fan or a low fan with heat, or you can go to a high fan with heat, and then you can adjust your heat here, so I find that pretty useful. Right now I'm just using it with a fan, or I wouldn't be this close. So once this dries up, I think it'll look pretty good. I have a little bit more white to clean up there, but overall I'm really pleased with the product. So here is the finished product. Let's make sure I can get that in frame, and I really like how it turned out.